All right, so let's flat this using some of those fancy tools we've learned about in this application. So let's set up our layers first. So we're going to set our inks to reference like we talked about earlier. We're going to hit the little lighthouse button on the inks. And I'm also going to lock. Go down to our flats layer, which is just filled with white. And we'll start with the cat. So I'm going to choose the refer other layers. So before we were using refer to editing layer, which would just refer to the flats. But I want to refer to other layers on my fill tool. I'm going to start with these settings. I might have to adjust these later, but I'm going to keep this on apply connected pixels. We're going to keep that checked. Close gap, we might need to turn this on later, but I don't see any gaps in this. So I'm going to leave that off. Color margin set to about 12, and area scaling is set to about 10. The scaling mode is set to darkest pixel. Refer multiple is checked. It's really just referring to the reference layer. Everything else is unchecked, and the opacity is 100. So I think I want my cat to be orange. Let's see what happens. Looks like that went pretty well. Let's zoom up and see. I don't see any gray pixels. If you get really close, you can see there's a few little white pixels in here. When this happens, the easiest thing to do is just switch to the paint unfilled area version of this. Now I've got mine set to target all colors. Color margin is 0. Area scaling is 6 still. And I'm just going to paint over that. And when you paint in, it'll fill in those pixels. I'm painting around with the space bar as I use this tool. Looks pretty good to me. Alright, so we've got the cat done. We'll go ahead and scoot over here to the hat. And again, making sure that refer other layers is checked on the bucket tool. And fill. And you can see that there's a couple little gaps here. I'm just going to switch to the paint unfilled areas. Fill those in. And then we'll continue on back to the refer all layers bucket and change colors here. The colors you select do not matter much at this point. We can always change those later. You can see it's not filling in his eye correctly because of those big gaps, so we can fill that in manually. I'm going to go ahead and fill those with the regular lasso, and we'll switch to the beard with a darker color. Make sure you're on the refer other layers. I keep clicking the wrong one. Now again, you can see it's leaving little stray marks through here. So I'm going to switch back to that paint unfilled area. Fill those in. And the settings on this, target all colors, color margin is about 11, 12, area scaling is set to 6. These are not magical settings that are going to work on every single piece, so keep that in mind. I've tried these techniques on a bunch of drawings, and I don't know if I've ever used the exact same ones twice. And this is actually why for a long time I just manually flatted everything, because I thought that this would actually take more time than actually manually flatting it, but I've changed my mind about that since then. All right, for the eyes, I'm just going to manually select these because big gaps here that we're probably not going to be able to automatically fill. Hold down shift for the other one. For the editing layer to fill. So that's a little bit brighter. I'm also going to change this. Apologies if you hear the bird outside of my window. So I'm going to eyedropper the skin color, choose the refer to other layers fill tool, see if we can keep going. I'm actually not even following my own advice here to start big to small, but this line art is clean enough that it seems to be working just as quickly. I don't flatten much myself, so I'm a little rusty. I'm going to try the enclose and fill for the rest of this, just to see if it works. Yeah, it looks like it added a lot of artifacts in here. I'm going to change the color margin to 16 and try this again. And I don't see those artifacts this time. And just try to refer other layers to fill the rest of this. And to change his shirt, gray. I'm turning on the close gap to see if that helps us here. Anytime you have one that overfills, try playing with that close gap option on there, and that might do the trick. Alright, so I'm going to zoom up here and kind of look around and see what we're missing. I'm going to paint the unfilled areas. And again, if you can't find all these little white pixels as well as I can, I have more practice than you do. Or it's likely that I do. Alright, so let's do this arm. I wonder if we can use paint unfilled to do the whole thing. Like we got everything except for this part. Doesn't want to fill that part. Oh, there it goes. Seems finicky at times. I'm going to change the color of this hat just using the standard bucket tool. I'm going to select this hoodie and increase the saturation a bit to separate it from the metal arm a little bit more. I was looking at this again, and I think I want to add a little bit of variation to some of these shapes that are in this arm here and actually change some of these colors. So I'm going to make sure I'm on the Refer All Layers bucket tool. So I'm going to pick a slightly darker gray and turn up the close gap setting so that it lets me fill in these shapes that aren't completely closed. I have close gap turned all the way up at the moment. Now this tool is filling areas that I'll need to go back and correct, but this is still faster than manually tracing it with the lasso tool. I'm going to switch to the polyline for some of these sections. It might be a little bit easier. When the lines are pretty straight, I'll sometimes switch to that tool. And switch back to the regular tool to fill these. And let's clean all of this up with the regular fill tool. And if this takes you ages, that's fine. When I first started, it took me a long time too, but I've been using these tools for about 18 years now in Photoshop. this little circle is meant to be projecting the cat hologram, so I'm going to change this. We'll make this glow in a later lesson. All right, so I think you would agree this is a significantly faster way to flat than to do it manually. Again, I want to remind you, don't get frustrated if you're not able to do some of these, automatic flatting tools on every drawing, because it really won't be possible. I just don't want to set the wrong expectation here. This is a very clean drawing with really clean lines, lots of closed shapes. So it's kind of a perfect example for what I'm trying to show you guys today. Let's move on to the next lesson.